Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Oh, sorry. Happy Friday. Welcome back to our PBS classroom. I'm Mrs. Hammock, and I was just so distracted by this beautiful book. It's called The Lamb and the Butterfly, and it's a story about a lamb and a butterfly that become friends, and the lamb is full of questions for the butterfly. This is another story that Eric Carle has done the illustrations for, and I wanted to show you what I was talking about. Do you see how he just took a piece of paper and made all different colors and different textures by making lines on it? And then he used that as he built the grass on his picture. These pictures, when you cut out lots of different parts and pieces and put them together, are called mosaics. And so all of these pictures used to be just single papers of all these different colors that he put together. Isn't that beautiful? Look how he did the lamb's face with lots of like dots. Isn't that amazing? Wow, I can't stop looking at the pictures. They're so pretty. You might like to look at this book and get an up-close picture in your eye of all these beautiful textures that he used, so it will give you some ideas about a book that you might like to make. This one is The Lamb and the Butterfly by Arnold Sundgaard and illustrations by Eric Carle. Check for it on Sora or at your county public library. You might also look at your school library because they have really great books there too. Okay, I hope you do some great reading this week. And since it's nice and warm, I can't help but read about springtime, right? Okay. It is time for us to check on our digital reading challenge #1 spot. I have no idea who it is. Do you know? I don't either. Right. Okay, so let's look. I can't wait. Okay, here we go. Ready? And #1 in the digital reading challenge is Heaton Elementary. Way to go, Bulldogs. Great job. Wow, good for you. That means out of all the elementary schools that participated, Heaton Elementary School had the most minutes of digital reading. Great job, Bulldogs. Boys and girls, I have activity books that need a home. Do you have a home? Does your home have an activity book? Because we need to get those two things together. Will you please write me a letter so that I can send you an activity book? You'll have a really good time with it. It's got lots of puzzles and things to color and riddles to solve. I think you'll enjoy it. It will definitely help you to grow your brain. And I need to get them into somebody's hands. Write me a letter or an email. Give me your address so that I can send it to you. And I know that you will enjoy it. Maybe even ask mom and dad to help you, or grandma, or a grown-up that is there with you. Ask them to help you write a letter to me. Okay? Perfect. All right, friends. It's Friday, and we are training our ears for sound. We have 2 games. Right, because it's Friday, we train them extra hard because we'll be gone for the weekend. So our first game is the segmenting game. That's where I tell you a word, and then you break it apart 1 phoneme or sound at a time, and then tell me how many sounds you hear. All right, you ready to try it? Good. Zoo. Zoo. Ready? Z, oo. Zoo. How many? 2. 2 sounds. 2 phonemes to build the word zoo. How about spoon? Spoon. Ooh, that's a little bit trickier. Sp. Yep, there's that blend. Spoon. Spoon. Great. It has 4 phonemes. Good job. All right, our second game is phoneme substitution. Now, it's a little bit like deletion, but this time we're going to change or substitute a phoneme in our word to make a new word. Okay, so if I have the word room, room, and I change the to a t, what is my new word? Should we segment it to kind of help? Okay, let's do it. Ra-oom. Now when I get rid of the and I put up a t, now I have ra-oo-t. Good job, root. All right, let's try this one. Tooth. Tooth. Ready? T-oo-th. Tooth. All right, if I get rid of the th and I make it a ol, what's my new word? T-oo-ol. Tool. Great job. That's kind of tricky, isn't it? I hope you practice that because that will really help you when you're reading and writing. Let's take a look at our focus sound of the week. We've been working on the spoon card. All right, we focused a lot on the O says ooh. Let's read the other spelling patterns that also say ooh. Say them out loud with me. U consonant E says ooh. U says ooh. EW says ooh. UE says ooh. OU says ooh. And UI says ooh. Okay, today we're going to build some words using the UE says ooh. All right, now remember, we practice those spelling patterns so that you can start to see other words that use that same pattern. Here we go. Ooh, clue. What if I change it and I put this up here? Now what does it say? Ooh, glue. Good. All right, what if I change it again to this? Oh, it's a color word. Ooh, blue. Good job. All right, and one last one. Ready? Ooh, true. Terrific. All right, I don't know about you, but I am dying to find out what Rooster and Goose's plan is to kind of straighten up the farm, aren't you? So let's get back to our story about Rooster and Goose, and they're going to come up with a plan. Remember, they called all the animals together, and let's figure out what their plan is, or find out what their plan is to fix the farm. Here we go. Then Goose stated, let's not bug each other. Let's join together. We can make it better. So Rooster and Horse went to check the crops. They set the roots in and scooped soil on top. This was enough to make the crops grow. The chicks picked up the hay. Then Goose and Pig made the hay neat. The eyes of the animals were wide with joy. The farm looked so nice. Hey, I like that. Did you see how they worked together so that they could make their farm nice instead of bugging each other? I hope that you do that in your classroom. I hope that you work together instead of bugging each other to make your classroom a happy, joyful place to learn. Let's see if we can find some of those ooh sound words, okay? All right, let's skip the goose and the rooster because we already know that those say ooh. Can you see any others? Yes, I saw it too. Good for you. Roots. Roots, very nice. How about, is there anything else? Oh, that is a huge word. Did you get it? Scooped. Look at that ED, the inflectional ending. We have scoop and then scooped. What is that? When we add ED, what does that mean? Right, it already happened in the past. And scooped, they scooped. Anything else? Ooh. No, but I do see some high frequency words, do you? Right. What about this word? What is this? Oh, I couldn't trick you. I heard somebody say, no, 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 that's look. You're right, looked. It's not an oo word. Keep that in mind. Good job. Let's take a look at our high frequency words. We had 6 this week. Do you know all 6 of them? If you are not sure of some of them, I want you to write them down. I want you to practice, practice, practice until you know them as fast as you know your name. Let's read and spell them together. Here we go. Answer. A-N-S-W-E-R. Answer. Eyes. E-Y-E-S. Eyes. Busy. B-U-S-Y. Busy. Brought. B-R-O-U-G-H-T. Brought. Enough. E-N-O-U-G-H. Enough. And door. D-O-O-R. Door. Did you get them? Were there ones that you need to practice a few more times? So if that's true for you, remember, you need to take ownership and write down the ones you need practice with. All right, let's take a look at our suffixes. A suffix is a letter or a group of letters added to the end of a word. Let's read that again. Added to the end of words to change their meaning. Full means full or full of. Less means without. So I put some up here for us to read together. Let's start here on this side with full. Cheerful. Forgetful. Playful. Graceful. Remember, full means full of. So cheerful means full of cheer. Forgetful means full of forgetting, right? Playful means full of play, and graceful is full of grace. Now let's take a look at some of these with less. Endless, that means without end. Toothless, I bet some of you are toothless. That means without teeth. And clueless, without a clue. But boys and girls, sometimes words can be used with full or with less. So here I have helpful and helpless. Both of those can use either one of those suffixes. Fearful and fearless. Fearful means full of fear, and fearless means without fear. Well, I hope you are fearless in your practice of reading, and I hope that you are hopeful that you will be back with me next week. Goodbye now, the clock says we're done. I'll see you on Monday. Goodbye, everyone. Have a safe and fun weekend. Read a good book. Bye-bye.
To a brand new day, time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.